Norwood players explain he tripped and ducked. Let's have a look at it in replay.
Well, I think he was extremely fortunate. He had his chance to get rid of the ball. He didn't. He went to ground of his own volition. They went over the top of him for mine, holding the ball.
Opportunity for the Maggies. Not even a minute in play. Oh, the kick won't make the distance. In the way, Maynard. Good defensive mark.
Maynard in the back pocket to edge the legs out of defence. Big crowd, 18 to 20,000 people. Port's won the toss. Kicking with the breeze, Dan Tokia, Warhurst. The running player on the outer side is Rowe. That's a shocking kick. Here's a chance now, Abernethy on the left foot towards the half-back line. Scanlon in front, Warhurst back there. He's under pressure, needs support, gets it through Scanlon. And the red leg half-back flanker gets it up. Oh, the wind standing that one up. Aber gets underneath the footy again and takes a fine mark at centre wing. Well, the breeze has got to be worth 4 and 5. Abernethy kicks a ground covering kick in towards the half-forward line. Well taken there by Tom. Many people think Tom may be a little lucky to be playing this afternoon. But having said that, in brilliant form as he edges the ball back out towards centre wing. Out there was Johnson, Abernethy. In goes Mark Williams, or thrown away quickly by Foster. Rowan Smith goes for the safety of the line. Foster back again. Heaves them into attack up towards the forward pocket. Clavey won't get there and the ball goes out of play.
Port Adelaide in second position on 16 points. Norwood right behind them on 14 points, and only 0.1% separates them. Football Park. The game was switched from Norwood. Caused a fuss earlier in the week. Once the financial considerations were set right, the Red League swapped. Through quickly was Dan Tokia. Tried to give it to Aish. Aish has started on the ball. My mail is that he won't stay there. In fact, we'll go back to a half-forward flank, and Thomas and young Brett Jones will do the rest of the ruck roving work. Aish just getting a start on the game. Rowe in there. One of the biggest kick getters or possession getters in league footy. Brown and Scanlon say hello to each other. Big Hines comes in and pushes him away.
Umpire Laurie Argent just trying to settle them down. Laurie's joined by Rick Kinnear, South Australia's two top umpires in charge of this clash, and fittingly so. Pittman, Andrew Jarman, off the fingers, it goes back to Dan Tokia. Can't find an aerial ping-pong with Rowe, but gee, it's hard work to get a kick out there, I can tell you. Rain starting to drift in. Big crowd underneath the cantilevers, well rugged up against the wind and the rain, but then again it is winter. Michael Aish trying to get it back to Scanlon. Rowe at the bottom of the pack. He's going to get a free kick for a high tackle, and Stephen Rowe is going to get 50 as well. Against Wanganeen. Hello, she's on. Here they go. You might expect that. A beautiful right cross in there. Now Laurie Argent would have had to have seen that. Wanganeen in there, Ross as well. Players just warming up in a quick toe-to-toe. But I reckon this is about the nearest Norwood is going to get to the attacking division with this breeze by getting a 50-metre penalty into the wind.
You might be right, but both trying to set the precedent for the day. They know it's who gets on top first, Daisy, and neither one will let it happen early, I can tell you.
You're not wrong. Rowe now to set the Redlegs into attack up towards the half-forward line. Up looking for Balme, can't find it. Michael Aish, Andrew Jarman shoots in towards goal, getting back on it. Will they make it? Oh, gee. A great attacking move by the legs, and they have scored into the breeze. It proves it can be done.
He's in great form, Jarman. Best on ground last week, and was doubtful with a hamstring, but or with the flu, in fact. But he's out there, and that's the main thing. Rezonico, former Collingwood player, sends them out of defence. Big punch, Johnson. Jarman in there, coming through strong. Maynard, plenty of courage there. He's a favourite. Marnie it is. Long kick in. Hodges with a chance. Ball to ground. Robran. Hand. Body work. Wanganeen there. Dished that one out. Ross. Wanganeen again. Very clever. They shoot for goal. Oh, what a brilliant effort, Wanganeen.
Well, hello. It's on. Clavey and Rowan Smith. The situation is explosive, and I reckon we'll have an all-in before we get much older. But back to the football. Wanganeen, one thing the youth does know is where the goals are. Great tackle on the ball. Now watch him get up out of all this. Ross was in there. Maynard can't get rid of it, and the kid has got strength. Hooked around the corner, got an A-grade bounce, and Porter's got there first on the board.
Gavin Wanganeen gets the Magpies away. Almost an impossible goal. Should have been recalled. It's got to be contested by 2 players. How often does it happen? The rule's 4. 5 minutes in. Dentocchia puts the Redlegs forward. The kick will hold up into the wind. Out comes Wedding. Oh, ace! Slips catch. Good hands in the wet. He'll put them in quickly from 50 metres. Not a long kick. Oh, Johnson underneath, uncontested. That's the value of Russell Johnson. He'll get back and work hard in defence. It's a heck of a help for backman to have 6'5" lurking around, giving you a hand. Talking about hands, Brett Hand in there, working hard. Stephen Williams, long sleeve, unrecognisable. Usually in short sleeves, that's holding the ball. And the player that caught him was his opposite number.
Well, he might have been a bit unlucky then. He got one the other end. He lost that one.
Holding the ball, and then Andrew Jarman, the only scorer for Norwood to date. Balme underneath it, can't take it. Johnson with him. Loose ball. Desperate players off the ground. Ace with a chance if he can get through. Oh, he's got through. Impossible to get through there. Rowe to Thomas. Goal to the Redlegs. Well done, Michael Ace.
Well, if people want quality, they've got it in the first 7 minutes of the game. Into the breeze. It's hard to get a kick out there. It's a lot easier to get a handball. It goes back there to Ace. Watch him run the gauntlet here. Got legged. Rowe looks for someone. Thomas grubbers it through. And the Legs have got there first on the board, and they lead by a point. 1-1 to a goal on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, Michael Ace has been watching the All Blacks, Daisy, the way he got through that pack. Tight game. Both sides want to get an ascendancy early. Williams, great tackle on hand to get through there. They'll stay over the ball, and you'll find that not one player will shift his body away from the ball. If he does, there'll be about 34 other eyes will just stare him into oblivion. Absolute commitment required by every player. Wanganeen, beautiful handball to Hutton. The wingman sends him forward. It's high. Hodges with a chance. Not quite. Scotty Hodges, he's kicked 6-6 last week, 10-10 the week before, and he's in scintillating form. My tip for full forward in the state game.
I agree he's in scintillating form, but so is the man on him, Maynard. Throw in full forward left pocket. Hines against Pittman, who got the tap. Rowan Smith in pursuit. Hooks around the corner, and the umpire said it was out on the full. The penalty free kick will go to David Payne. Payne in the back pocket to edge the Legs out of defence. And I've got to tell you, there are 30 players in the attacking division of Norwood. There's only 6 forward of the Norwood centre line. On the outer side there, Foster at the bottom of the pack. Claby comes out with a football, hooks around the corner. Michael Ace always seems to be where he ought to be. Andrew Jarman looks for a runner, hand, going through. And it wasn't a good handball. He gets out of it, whips it out. Thomas, the Legs on the move through the half-forward line. Michael Ace in short, Rowe, still too far out, 65 into the breeze. Down they go in a heap in the goal square. Gee, it's on up there, I can tell you. Weeding is being held on to. Rowe puts it up for grabs, and the umpires at last. He has seen it. Well, it took him forever, Neville.
Daisy, I just don't believe how a backman could be that stupid to hold on to a player for that long in front of an umpire. Kinnear was just staring at him.
Well, it went on. I reckon it went on. It seemed like an eternity. It was probably only 15 seconds. And in the end, I agree with you. The umpire was simply forced to give a free kick. Pascoe it is. 25 metres, no certainty to kick this goal, I can tell you. Yes, he has. First kick, his first goal, the Legs 2-1. Irrespective of the result, football has been the winner this afternoon as we go into the final quarter with Port Adelaide leading by 6 points. Legs to come home with a breeze. Johnson gets it out to Mark Williams. Fires out towards the half-forward line, looking for brother. Ross gets it out. The handball wasn't spot on. Searching for it is Williams. Hand at the bottom of the pack. Stephen Williams over the top. And the umpire will come and ball it up. Same spot about the just marginally in Port Adelaide's attacking division. The crowd has certainly got its money's worth. It's been the finest game of the season as Andrew Jarman gets it out hand. Rowe almost run down to the half-forward line. Phillips gives chase over there. With him is Balme. Close to the line, the ball goes out of play. Port Adelaide led by 15 points at quarter time. Norwood snuck in front by 4 points at half time. And now the Maggies have got a 6-point advantage.
Johnson gets the knock, goes straight down to Foster. He manages to get the ball out amongst a forest of Norwood players. But it's Rowe who gets it forward. Underneath it, Payne. Can't control it. Piarchi first back to it. Chips inside. Has Harris there. Harris there. Phelps was the player beforehand. Again to Piarchi. That's a hospital ball if you'll ever see one. Coming back to help out, Jeff Phelps. On the interchange bench. Gives it to Marnie. His kick is long. Back towards half-back. Pittman there. Williams overruns it. Mark Williams. Warhurst burrows through. Again, it's Rowe on the end of it. Marnie stays with him. Tight. Back to Clavey. Back on the ground. Nichols has gone off. Obviously, that arm all right. Contest between Harris and Weeding. Spoil. Payne. Great tackle on him by Wanganeen. Goes to ground Weeding. Caught by Piarchi. Even contest will have a bounce. Half-forward line for the Redlegs.
Port by 6 points, 12-11 to 12-5. Umpire Kinnear puts it down. Balme in, can't get it out. Surrounded by Port Adelaide defensive Guernseys. And umpire Kinnear, who with Laurie Argent have put in a superb performance, as befits this game. Balme again hooks it back, but this time it went straight back to Foster. Rowan Smith couldn't get the set. Working hard for it was Dan Tokia. Taken off him by Abernethy. Around the corner, Matthew Robran needs a set. Andrew Jarman, once again a brilliant performer. Ace, who's been quiet on the second half, but he's clear now. Off goes Weeding. Ace is going to bounce his way into attack. Puts it up for grabs. Oh, he's left it for Payne and Piarchi. Off the fingers, it's Piarchi leads in the race. Thomas against the tide. James snaps in towards goal, and it just goes across the line. Oh, that was a close thing. It was Phelps who just got his hands to the ball before it went across for a goal.
Pascoe did the right thing there, trying to trap it. I think Phelps would have got it if he got past him. The real test for players now is to stay in control of themselves and handle the pressure. Any mistakes now will be absolutely vital, and that's really the test, whether you can keep up and maintain this standard. Hands, feet, disposals, and contention to stay at the contest. Thomas, beautifully done by Jarman. His use of the ball, keeping possession, has been very good indeed. This will be his 12th kick, Thomas. He has 2 goals for the Redlegs. Probably none as important as this one. From 50 metres, in he comes. Kicked his last from about that distance. It'll go very close. It's a brilliant kick. His third. A talented effort from the Norwood Ruck Rover. The Redlegs 13th on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, Andrew Jarman has had a brilliant game once again. They moved Abernethy onto him in an attempt to curb him. Stephen Williams went into the forward division, but once again you saw the magician set up a chance for his teammate. Thomas kicked a magnificent goal over 60 metres, and the Legs are in front by a point.
And the crowd right on their feet here at Football Park. A magnificent contest, a great game regardless of who wins it. Ace smothered out of the centre by Wanganeen is good. Marnie through, but not dangerously, says umpire Kinnear. The crumb is Mark Williams. He goes long, he's got his brother in space. If his bounce sits, he's got Hodges free. It doesn't. Contest by Maynard is good. On to Setri, again to Mark Williams. He'll snap from 30 metres. Just a little offline. And if the ball had sat for Stephen Williams a bit earlier, Hodges was the next in line, and it would have been a certain goal. And that's been going on all day.
I think young Ross might have told Mark Williams what he thought of his kick for goal. Kick back towards the half-back line. Pittman almost hands through. Got it to Ace. He in turn to Balme. Great smother by Tregenza. Balme's got another chance, but Hand takes it off him. Back to Stephen Rowe, best man on the ground for mine as he drives in towards the half-forward line. Payne needs to sit, or he runs into trouble. Harris gets it out now to Phelps. Phelps back towards centre wing. Tregenza can't quite. Rowe again to send the Legs into attack. 27th kick up towards the half-forward line, but once again Piarchi's in the road. He pats it out now to Wanganeen. The youngster has time to have a run. Michael Ace can't raise the gallop. Port Adelaide into attack. Robran over the top, bumps the ball away. Rowan Smith and Scanlon to the line. Still in play. Now it's Rosonico, not into Setri, I beg your pardon. Out of play on the half-forward left flank, almost up the centre wing for Port Adelaide.
We'll take your call, Daisy. Michael Ace is a little bit out of gas. And his value to the Redlegs now is to stay close to goal. Maybe try and pitch one or two, chasing players down the ground and weed him thin very quickly. Centre wing. Diametric centre of Football Park, grandstand side. Pittman puts it to ground. Thomas gives Dan Toccia an opportunity. He'll be run down. He's got Jarman on his left. Goes that way. The puncher kick is in high to Pascoe. Weeding behind. They need one down. First to it will be Phelps. Weeding will close on him. Tries to get under his legs. Misses the ball. Phelps tackled by Weeding. Payne pitches the ball. He's out of trouble. He's caught, though, by Tregenza. Balme goes out of the pack. Payne fights in there hard. Good effort by number 17. Stayed at the task. Forced the ball up in the end. And umpire Argent will have a bounce.
A bounce about 35 metres out. Norwood by a point. Back now to Rowe. Rowan turn thought about Jarman. He's conceded ground. Puts it around the corner. Waiting for it is Phelps. So Harris. And he in turn to Phillips. Phillips has time to have a look. Well put. Abernethy on the half-back line. The running player is Piarci. Runs himself into trouble, out of trouble. Screws one around. Warhurst in defence. Smith there with him. Back now to Pittman. Warhurst. The legs all clear. Here is Payne. He's 40 metres clear. 50 metres out. He puts it up in the air. Looking up there for Pascoe. Weeding there, Michael Ace. Brilliantly done, Foster, and Port Adelaide out of defence.
Brilliant take by Foster. Great throw. As Neil Balme's going to have to come off the ground. He is in a lot of trouble. Craig Balme, in fact, Tregenza with the ball. Port Adelaide defence stood tall on that occasion. Now they're into attack. Stephen Williams underneath it. Lester Ross overruns it. Craig Balme coming off the ground. He's in a lot of pain. Roger Murdoch will go on. So Weedy will come out to centre-half forward. I would think Ace will go to full forward and Murdoch will go to the pocket. At a guess. Stephen Williams over to Rowan Smith into the open goal. Not a problem for the Port superstar. His third. Port Adelaide's 13th on 9's Wide Water Sports.
Rowan Smith always lurking, waiting to provide the link. Once again it came out. Marnie settles, kicks for goal, and Port Adelaide miraculously have hit the front again. There's still a lot more football in this game. Balme has come off. As Rocky's told you, Murdoch on for the legs.
So Ace is still at half forward. Pascoe's the player that's gone for the pocket to full forward. Murdoch in the pocket. Pittman gets the knock. The Redlegs go forward. This time through Ace. Out on a lead, Pascoe! Well, it's played off within seconds. Not that you would have planned it. You never planned for a player to get injured and leave the ground. The kick from Ace was a beauty. I think Michael Ace would actually be going to go back on the ball. In fact, Rowe kicked that in. He got it from Ace. So Pascoe from 40 metres. Valuable goal. He has two, one in the first, one in the third. He punches away with that. It's a beautiful kick. A valuable one to the Redlegs. Pascoe's 3 and Norwood's 14. Will change hands again before this game's out. We're 10 minutes into the final quarter. We've had 3 changes of lead already. Setri out of the centre. Great tackle by Rowe. Ball to ground. Players will stretch every facility they have, every resource in their body. As I said earlier, it's a matter of less mistakes and who can maintain control for the longest. The intensity and the concentration's been there all day. There hasn't been a break for players. It's been a credit to them all. Tregenza shrugs the tackle from hand. He did that beautifully. Puts it in long. Hodges fell down behind play. Maynard up high. Hodges gets the crumb. He goes towards goal. And the full forward offline for 1 point only. Port Adelaide 13-12-90. They tie things away here at Football Park. 14-6-90 the Redlegs. 11 minutes in.
Scott Hodges, 2 goals, 2 for the afternoon. A tied ball game. Oh, Wanganeen gets pushed out. Clumsy push there by the Norwood defence. Wanganeen can't score from there, but it will certainly put Port Adelaide right at the edge of the square. Wanganeen gets a lead from Hodges, who aborts. Back into the square he goes. He's 55 metres out, as you can see. Into this breeze, he won't make it. Can't find a lead. Going to put it up in hope. Hodges, Maynard. Oh, gee, he's a marvellous fullback. What a player he's been for Norwood. He's a bits and pieces man. They put him wherever they need him, and he never lets them down. Drives back towards centre wing. Wanganeen! Oh, what a mark! Gives it to Setri. Put Adelaide into attack. One-on-one. Williams against Ross. Williams, Ross. Down they go. Robron over the top. And now we've seen everything. Brown and Robron, the youngsters, just having a little tete-a-tete. But have a look at that marker, Wanganeen's.
It was quite incredible. He wanted to make up for the kick in. Hodges gave him a bit of a spray for it. Over the top was beautiful, but before he hit dust, he'd handballed it off. That is a magnificent sign as Jarman comes out of the pack. He'll go very close to out on the full. Lucks a fortune as it stays in. And just back to Wanganeen, that was a superb piece of play by him. Let's have a look at it in replay. Look at the grab, 3 deep, 4 deep. Have a look at the handball. It comes out in seconds. It came out just after that. And Port Adelaide back into attack. Marnie fighting hard in there. Can't get out as umpire Rick Kinnear calls for a ball up. Tied away here at Football Park. We said earlier in the day that when the scores were tied, that's exactly what were the exact indication of these two teams. And I'm not surprised to see it the case at the moment. Scanlon to Matthew Robron is good football. And Roger Murdoch will get his first kick fresh on the ground.
Froggy Murdoch from half-back flank. Kicks long. Searching for centre-half forward. Off the fingers. Going through. Oh, Foster lost the football. Phillips gives a chance out there. Murdoch left it behind. Phillips. Port Adelaide into attack again towards the half-forward line. Over there, a great desperate mark by Clavey. And he's been a fine defender for the legs this afternoon. Brenton Clavey at centre-half back. Floats the ball towards his half-forward line. Dan Tokya. Through goes Weeding. Here's a chance, Nichols. Maynard on the left leg. High to the half-forward line. Outsteams Pascoe. The crumbs. Fiachi's there. No one there for Port Adelaide or for Norwood. He's got no one to kick to. Finally has to come in short. And it's well taken by Setri on the half-back line. Back to Fiachi in the double play. He's set up the loose man now. Doesn't want Tregenza. Goes to the half-forward line. Marnie elects to bolt off. Drives in long. Hodges. Ball gets ripped out. Now it's Stephen Williams. Heads towards goal. The umpire said he's hit the aluminium. Oh, what stiff luck for Stephen Williams. He did it brilliantly. Got rid of Lester Ross and just managed 1 point only, and they lead by that 1 point.
Second time Stephen Williams has hit the post. Very unlucky. A real let-off for Norwood as Wanganeen's in the seat again. He'll try and get round Payne. He'll lose the ball. He's got no help. Scanlon sits on his head. Out comes Payne. Plenty of players there at the moment holding the ball. That's the decision. Wanganeen recruited that. Plays for the 50 and doesn't get it. Well, he's been a star today, Gavin Wanganeen. 10 kicks and 11 handballs. Brilliant. Brown off the pack. His handball is wild. Pittman will shepherd Marnie to allow Clavey through. Dantocha with the ball. Tackled by Rowan Smith. Nowhere to go. And the pressure and the intensity has not let up all day. It's been magnificent. As I said earlier, I think the first one to do that or to start showing the cracks. The other will flow through very quickly. Mark Williams kicks to Pittman in the head. Payne has it now. He goes long. It's high. Aisha's underneath it. He'll be the jumper. Punch away by Phillips. Quickly is Tregenza. Quick kick forward. Dantocha can't take it. Marnie caught with it. Tries to give it to Brown and does. Smith in space. They're into attack now, the Magpies. He's got Hodges short or Setri wide. He goes to the ladder. Underneath it, Warhurst. Great mark from a bad position.
What a great defender. Always there when you need him. Solid as a rock. Warhurst puts it up. The lead is on from Weeding. Centre field. The runner Payne. The legs into attack again. Long. Ross it was. Up towards Pascoe. Well, the umpire said play on. Hooking out. Rowe. It's a goal. What a brilliant game. The legs have hit the front. Rowe boots his first. Clearly best on on the ground. The legs 15-6 to 13-13 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Magnificent take by Wedding. Good kick up. Ross played on quickly, got it forward. Nearly a good take here by Pascoe. Couldn't quite control it against Harris. Rowe did the crumbing, snapped around the corner. Absolutely brilliant. I can't disagree with you, Daisy. He's best on ground for mine. And what a game of football.
At the bounce, Stephen Rowe has had 30 kicks. Pittman gets up a bit higher. In they go hard. Aber at the bottom of the pack. I think he's going to wind up with a free kick. Abernethy to send the Magpies into attack, down by 5 points. Aber goes out wide. Ross over the top. Smith there. Stephen Williams joined by Tregenza. The umpire's seen a free kick. It's going the way of Lester Ross, who grabs for the toe. Tramp has caught up with a back pocket player, but I can guarantee you he'll take his kick.
Lester Ross had grand final and premiership experience, goes forward. Most of these Magpies have had grand final experience over the last couple of years too. I know what hard football's all about. Phelps, undecided, looks for a big man. Looking for Darren Williams. Underneath it was Rowan Smith. Out of it, guess who? Stephen Rowe has been everywhere, battles hard, patches it out, gives it to Hand. Brett Hand now goes forward. Weeding will be the target. The crummer will be Payne in front and Fiarchi. Weeding has to do it. Oh, he's tackled well. Brett, in fact, that's James, gets it over to Payne. He's caught, taps it up. Well done, Payne. Ace caught. Murdoch there. There's nowhere to go as James. Hand, in fact, gets it out to Claby. He goes on to Dan Toccia for 50 metres. He lets fly. It'll be very close. He's got it. He spurs. And the Redlegs eke out a lead. The first time it's been more than a goal. With Port Adelaide. What an incredible game of football. Been starved to some extent. Jarman off the ground is clever. Opportunity for Payne if he can get through. He's in space. He's on his left foot. Impossible angle and he goes to goal. And the result was that it was impossible. 1 point only. And I don't know if my voice will last, Daisy.
Well, never, whatever. I don't know how many people here, must be close to 20,000. But it's certainly restored their faith in South Australian football. Rowe, Pittman under pressure. Or they put the saddle on Michael Ace, gets it out. Going to meet it now was Phelps at the bottom of the pack, or is it Harris? Whatever, the umpire's going to come and ball it up. Inside the half-forward line for the Legs. 19 minutes gone of the final quarter, and the Legs have got a 2-goal margin. The moment of truth for the Magpies, who have fought marvellously, but it's not over yet. Setri. Andrew Jarman. Long handball to Ace. Back there with him is Foster. In goes Phelps. Foster floats it back towards the half-back line. Tregenza had a quiet third quarter, but he's been brilliant. Marnie kicks long to the half-forward line. Warhurst up over the top is Matthew Robran, and he eases the pressure for the Legs again.
Good call, Mark. Matthew Robran. Been a success in the back pocket this year. Goes towards Weeding. Thomas is the player that gets the crumb. The Redlegs are forward again. Goes to Murdoch. It's out in the full boat. Just a little wide. Graham Corns looks more nervous than Neil Balme. As Neil Balme surveys the ground. The kick back. Underneath it, Pittman. In the back of his direct opponent. That'll go to Russell Johnson. David Hines waits on the boundary line for a ruck change. Darren Smith, 2 grabs, can't take it. Well spoiled by Tom Warhurst. Mark Williams off the ground, but the ball out of bounds.
It's a huge task for the Magpies now. Norwood lead by 12 points, 20 minutes into the final quarter. 6 or 7, maybe 8 minutes left of this fantastic game of football. Andrew Jarman, Maynard, Setri, Brown. Now Stephen Rowe circles Andrew Jarman. The Legs into attack again, up towards the half-forward line. Johnson back in defence, Payne over the top, Phelps there as well. And the umpire will ball it up on the half-forward left flank for the Legs. It's a monumental task now for Port Adelaide to get out of this. They've got to score at least 2 goals to win, and it's 21 minutes gone. But they've done it before. Marnie towards the line. Setri Runs into the likes of Hand. Michael Ace grovelling at the bottom of the pack again. He'll go for the safety of their line. No, the umpire will ball it up, still on that half-forward left flank.
And there's a bit of rain at Football Park, which makes Port Adelaide's task even greater. They're up to it, though. They've played good enough football to win this. We're 21 minutes in. There'll be at least 5 or 6 minutes of time on. So they've got in the vicinity of 10 minutes or 9.5 minutes to win this game. And we've seen the lead change 4 times in that space of the game. George Fiarchi on your screen. Been a good player for Port Adelaide today. His runs down the ground have really given Port Adelaide advantages. He's gone down unchecked several occasions. Thomas tops it out. Goes back to Rowe. He's had an incredible amount of kicks. An opportunity now. It's all Norwood. Weeding into the open goal. Too hard for the Magpies now.
That's it. Game, set and match. Weeding boots his 5th. And once again, it was Stephen Rowe. Luck's a fortune. The bounce determined the game of the football in the end. But nothing can be taken away from Norwood. Their performance has simply been sensational. And what a game it's been. Johnson leaves the ground. Hines back in for the Magpies. But it's a leg 17-7 to 13-13.
Still a contest at Football Park. 18 points in it, 3 clear goals. Norwood going to attack through Jarman. It's high, leading up the back of the pack, but it's all Port Adelaide as Phelps takes a good mark. They want to get on with it quickly. 22.5 gone. The target is Tregenza. Abernathy, in fact, one hand didn't work. He comes back for more. Jarman catches him. Hutton, he'll give it over to Setri. Setri has got Wangadine wide. Inside of him is Abernathy. He'll have to go over the top to Hodges. Is good. At the back of the pack, Robran. He'll be happy with the line. And that's the way it goes.
Setri down in trouble. But there's a free kick going to Port Adelaide. Hodges into attack. Out comes Smith. Warhurst at the back. Rowan Smith, the opportunist, hooks around the corner. It's floating back, but won't float back enough. And the umpire indicates it's only 1 point to the Magpies. Just let's have a look at Setri. He looks to be sidedly proppy, but he certainly won't leave the ground.
From the kick out, it's Payne again. Been a good player for the Red Leagues as well. He searches for Maynard. Rowe there. Fiarchi in the pack. Rowe gets it out. He's been incredible today. Clavey caught. Gets up. Hodges still has him. It's Hines who gets it up to Fiarchi. Rowan Smith, the only player there for Port Adelaide. Can't take it. Gets back to hold it in, though. James is there. Finally, Pittman comes out with it. Gives it to Jarman. The Red Leagues are running on strongly. Beautiful tape to Weeding. On to Maynard. He's got Ace if he wants him. He's also got Pascoe in the pocket. Ben Harris there. Ace there. Ball is loose and out of bounds.
John Cale, I think he realises the moment has come. It's been a marvellous game of football. It's not much consolation when his team's down by 17 points and the ball's in the right forward pocket of Norwood at the moment. Andrew Jarman in there. He can't be far behind Stephen Rowe as best on ground. But the legs lock the ball up. They won't let this one get away as they lead 17-7 to 13-14. We're approaching time on. The ball comes back in towards Foster. He can't get it out. Here's a chance. Mark Williams to Wanganeen. The Magpies won't turn it up. Phelps drives long to the half-forward line. Well done to Hodges. Breaks through the half-forward line. Clavey across to Robran. The youngster's got poise beyond his years. Drives back to the half-forward line. Can't find Weeding. Phillips goes down. In goes Hines. Ace over the top. And the umpire will come and ball it up. And G. Neville, there's got to be some tired players out there.
Yeah, they're all very tired, and it really, no team has actually turned it up at all. Norwood are 17 points into time on, so the task for Magpies very hard as Murdoch turns one towards goal. Spent the most of the day on the bench. That's his first shot at goal. 1 point, so 17-8. Good shooting by the Red Leagues, 1-1-0. Those young fans think so as well. And Port Adelaide, 13-14-92.
Getting very murky at Football Park, I can assure you. I think, oh, here's another chance. Thomas! Offline. Gee, he's already booted 3 goals. Big chance for 4. I was just about to say, I think there's going to be a lot of rain around very shortly. It's almost a stage where you've got to turn off the lights. It's very dingy indeed, but not as far as the Legs fans when they look at the board. 17-9 to 13-14.
We might even turn them on, Daisy, with a bit of luck. Pittman with the ball. 50-metre mark on a lead. Pascoe, that's the way it goes. Oh, behind his row. How fitting is that? Offline. How fitting was that? It's not fitting at all. He had a magnificent day. It would have been good for him to have finished off with a goal. Disgusted with himself. 1 point only. Moves the Redlegs along to 1-1-2. They lead by 10 points.
Neville, he's had an unbelievable 49 possessions for the afternoon. And you know what I'm going to say? He missed that deliberately to keep the ball on his forward lines. I don't think anyone's going to believe me. Mark Williams. Brown. Brilliant first half. Quieter since then. James, been a good performer for Norwood. Puts it out wide. And Froggy Murdoch. He's 40 out. He's going to have a shot. Gee, it's not a bad attempt either, going across the face of goal. Neither Harris nor Big Pascoe can get there. And the crowd start to stream out. But what an afternoon it's been for football, and the huge crowd that it's attended this afternoon.
Harris will bring the ball back in. The 27-minute mark of the final quarter. Pittman underneath it. Can't quite hold it. Very slippery out there at the moment. Opportunity now for Payne. He heads towards goal. That's it for the Redlegs as they finish off magnificently here at Football Park. Payne kicks his fourth. The Redlegs 17th on 9's Widewater Sports.
In the end, it's been the little men of Norwood, also with Pittman. See that handball out there to Payne, but it's been the little men of Norwood that hasn't been matched by Port Adelaide this afternoon, and they've slaughtered the Magpies in this last quarter, and they're winning, running away now. But full marks to the Magpies for making it such a great game.
119 plays 92. The contest is over, but both full credit to both sides. Great game of football. Brown to Setri is good. Short finds Marnie. He thinks about going on and doesn't. Rick Kinnear gives him an opportunity to make a second decision. He's 40 metres out, kicking into a pretty stiff breeze. He punches it. It's a little wide and short. Smith gets the punch down, but it's Maynard who does the crumbing. The Redlegs come away with it. Aish on a lead. That's the way it goes. He's been good today, Michael Aish. Had some valuable touches for the leagues. 25 touches and 2 goals. But only played about 4 games for the season. Phillips in defence. Gives it to Mark Williams. He's got nowhere to go. Holding the ball. The Redlegs go on as they play to advantage. Payne with it.
Payne kicks in high up towards Pascoe. Within there is Harris as the ball goes out of play. And surely this must be one of Norwood's finest performances in recent years. 18-11 to 13-14. Football Park attendance a brilliant 21,093 people, and it certainly justified the league in transferring the game from the Norwood Oval, and bear in mind weather conditions would have held a lot of people back. Wanganeen coming out of the defence, gets the free kick. Siren sounds, and all I can say is the game has been most memorable, and Norwood has run out winners 18-11, 119 to Port Adelaide's 13-14, 92.
It truly was a magnificent contest today between the Redlegs and the Magpies, and there you see the score quarter by quarter. Magpies 4-5 to 2-2 at quarter time. At half-time, the Redlegs led by 4 points, 9-5 to 8-7, and a marvellous finish to the game by the Redlegs, getting up 18 goals, 11, 119 to the Magpies, 13 goals, 14, 92. Looking at the goal scores, of course, in that particular game, from the Legs, Weeding kicked 5, 4 to David Payne, 3 to Thomas and Pascoe, and for the Magpies, Mark Williams 3, Smith 3, and Scotty Hodges kicking 2. But certainly a marvellous game at Football Park today in front of a crowd of over 21,000 people, and the game had everything. It was skillful, the blocking, the commitment by both sides was absolutely fantastic. Looking at the better players from both sides, Norwood has some good players all over the ground. None better than their rover, Stephen Rowe, who played a superb game. Andrew Jarman in the middle, Pittman, Payne, Warhurst, Ace. I could go on and on for Port Adelaide, Wanganeen, Tregenza, Marnie and Brown. But a super game of football played under very ordinary conditions. OK, in a moment, Ian Day will talk to the big man himself, Neil Balme. Back shortly.
Congratulations. Would that be one of Norwood's better performances in recent times?
Well, I don't know. It's always hard to equate. I thought last week was as good as we played, being 5 down and and getting back and winning well, but I guess you've got to be pleased with today.
Well, given the situation, 21,000 people and the wind and everything, I thought it was a marvellous performance. David Pittman gave you a huge start and ruck, but perhaps the little men finished it off?
Well, you know, just sort of thinking about it, I think we were pretty well all round, but Pittman really did work very hard, and if he had perhaps held a couple of the marks that he even should have, he would have been a really dominant player. But the little guys were very good. I thought Rowie worked very hard, and Payne was always very dangerous.
You didn't make a move all day until you had to when your brother was forced off. Did you contemplate any?
Oh, yeah, well, throughout the game, we think, well, how are we going here? Should we do this? Should we do that? But it was a reasonably tight game, and I didn't think we were struggling or really suffering that much anywhere, so best to let it go, I think.
And you'd have to say a kind word about a brilliant defence.
Well, they were very strong. I thought a couple of times they looked a bit fragile, but they regrouped and got together.
What a spectacle for the people here today.
Thanks, Daisy.
And there talking to Neil Balme. It's an amazing game, this football. What, 7 weeks ago, there were a lot of people saying that Neil Balme should get the sack as coach of Norwood. 7 weeks, of course, he's won his last 7 games. It's an amazing game, this football, and they thoroughly deserved their win today, but take nothing away from Port Adelaide. A typical Port Adelaide performance. They were magnificent in defeat, but the game today, unbelievable stuff. OK, we'll come back with more footy right after break. Stay with us. And welcome back to Sunday football action. Of course, the crowd today at Football Park was 21,093, and I'm sure that had we been given fine weather today, we would have got a crowd in excess of 35,000 people. So the league, in my opinion, were quite right in moving the game from the parade to Football Park, and I'm sure in the coming weeks we're going to see other big games move to headquarters. That gave the round overall attendance to over 35,000 people. OK, just a reminder, of course, next Sunday at 5 p.m, it's the interstate football between South Australia and Western Australia. It should be a magnificent contest, and come on the Crow Eaters. OK, hope you've enjoyed our replay. Of course, coming your way shortly, Georgie and I will join you on National 9 News. Bye, everyone.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports. Sunday football action was brought to you by Nissan, the South Australian Brewing Company, makers of West End, and Pizza Hut.